You know, something funny I thought. You know how I'm always sending you those TikToks with the voice actors doing their voices of their characters, and the voice actor for Killua, she's pretty attractive, and I'm like, imagine you in the bed, you know, y'all together, you in the bed, and then she just starts talking like Killua from down there. So you like,
I mean, I guess we're doing this again.
you know, Godspeed. I'll show you Godspeed.
Slow down.
I'll be done.
Slow down.
3 seconds. I'll be done in 3 seconds. Welcome back, Otakuans. Welcome
what's
back.
up?
We are back in the studio. No, I'm just kidding.
The studio.
So we're going, yeah, the studio. We're gonna hop into some news real quick. It's kind of a slow week. We're just in the beginning of a new season of anime, which is fucking mwah. And we're gonna actually, just for your benefit, we're gonna go over some of that stuff. And later, right after I get through this news. But there's some great fucking shit out right now, and I'm fucking excited.
Yeah.
I'm fucking so happy. We're gonna get into it. We got hopping in this news real quick because we promise you news, so you know that things are happening in the anime community. Which, to be fair, there's actually not a lot of news.
It's not breaking news.
There's no break. Well, first, Japan is about to interview Eren Yeager on October 23rd.
Like the Japanese voice actor? Okay.
No, like the character Eren Yeager is about to be in an interview on TV. I'm concerned and a little.
Japan, are we okay?
Yeah, I'm concerned, but I'm also intrigued.
You know he's a fictional character, Japan?
Are you saying there's gonna be a rumbling of sorts?
I mean, if you look at JJK, if you say things enough and you put enough power into it, it becomes real. And the amount of times people have said Eren Yeager, I feel like maybe
is he a real person?
He's a walking, talking curse. Who knows?
So I don't know if this interview is gonna be. It'll probably be on YouTube like a week after it's done. But like, I don't know if it'll be aired here, obviously, because it's gonna happen on a Japanese television, like a not. I don't think it's a news station, but probably a news station.
Probably on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be on TV, like live broadcasted. So. We'll see how it goes. You know what? When it comes out, we're gonna look for it. When it comes out on YouTube, we're gonna do a little reaction video on Eren Yeager's fucking.
Eren Yeager.
Tatakai. All right. So Studio Eclipse is going to be making the next Berserk. So the next Berserk that's coming out, Studio Eclipse is doing that. Mappa is going to be helping them as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you know the shit's about to be good. I keep making this joke every time we talk about Mappa, but it's like the shit from Holes. It's like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Mappa's never going to get away with that. They keep on bringing out bangers, so we're like, I guess it's okay. I mean, Mappa, banger after banger.
Where is it at? This one's fucking... Yeah,
bro,
it's fucking...
It's funny, because I did see this news before, and I saw in the article, they literally claimed that people hated the 3D animation, so they're going to give us a Berserk that we deserve. Their literal words. And I'm like... That's what I'm talking about. Give us what we deserve, because the Berserks we received up to this point. But I'm going to watch this. I am so excited for this.
The movies were good. Though.
I mean,
the movie format of the show was good. So
I mean, it has some animations I didn't like still.
Yeah, like the boxy fighting. Whenever like it got to like big fighting, it was really boxy. And shit. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So Gojo, upcoming Kid Gojo is going to be voiced by Killua. So the voice actor for Killua, which I can see it. Everybody's, it's all over. If you haven't seen it, you're under a rock. All over TikTok, all over Instagram. Everybody's talking about how literally Kid Gojo is literally Killua. And I'm like, first of all, don't disrespect Gojo like that. He's definitely stronger than Killua. I'm sorry.
Killua got that dog in him. He's had a dog in him decades before Gojo was thought of.
Killua was definitely the GOAT, but at the same time, it's Gojo beating Killua.
I feel like Gojo should feel blessed to have the Japanese voice actor of Killua voice him.
You know something funny I thought. You know how I'm always sending you those TikToks with the voice actors doing their voices of their characters, and the voice actor for Killua, she's pretty attractive, and I'm like, imagine you in the bed, you know, y'all together, you in the bed, and then she just starts talking like Killua from down there. So you like,
I mean, I guess we're doing this again.
Godspeed. I'll show you Godspeed.
Slow down.
I'll be done.
Slow down.
In 3 seconds. I'll be done in 3 seconds. But apparently, it's gonna be cool. Everybody's pretty excited. I love Kilo's voice actor. Even the anime or the dub one is pretty cool. So, this one's kind of pointless. I just threw it in here because I thought it was kind of cool, I guess. But the voice actor for Anya is getting married.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. That's cute.
Yeah, she's getting married. She announced her engagement the other day. I forgot what her name is, so I apologize. But congratulations to you.
Should the picture
if you
right here.
if you ever we'll put it right there somewhere in this area.
This general area.
This general area. If congratulations if you watch anime podcasts and you happen to stumble upon here, we'd love to have you as a guest.
Say what's up.
Say what's up. Excuse me. And the last one is after Wano, there's going to be no more filler episodes.
Oh, fucking God, dude. No
more fillers, which I'm not even up to Wano yet, but I thought that was interesting that you took 10,000 episodes to fucking stop giving us fillers. This, and you want to talk about, so we did y'all see probably in the beginning or somewhere towards the beginning of our episode here, did a theory on oars. My theory is One Piece wrapping up.
Yeah, it is. This is the final arc. Oda has already said it.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, but it's going to be a very long arc, like at least a couple years, right? But like, no more fillers now? Is he kind of slow? Is he slowing down? He's like, look, I'm not doing this no more.
Is it no more fillers, or is it just no more fillers between this arc and the next? Because Toei, they have a habit of putting fillers in between arcs.
Everything I've seen so far with this news, because I pull the news I try to get multiple sources on it, is there's just no more fillers after Wano, just zero fillers.
Very interesting.
So it could be no fillers between this arc and the next, or no fillers at all.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's like at least 40 to 50 chapters of that needs to still become episodes, and if they continue on the current pace of one episode per chapter, they can honestly do it without no more filler for the rest of the season. I mean, series.
I need one volume per episode so I can catch up.
Speaking of fucking fillers, talking about they're not going to have no more fillers between the end of Wano and Egghead. Why the hell did we just have a filler yesterday? Literally a filler about what happened the past 3 weeks. They're re-showing Kaido and Luffy's fight, like the Gear 5 part.
I don't think they consider that a filler because there's a lot of animes that run past 100, 200 episodes where the last episode in the arc, Bleach is a big.
Oh no! I'm with you, and they've been doing that
all
throughout.
The time.
But what they did for last night's filler, because throughout Wano they've been doing like filler episodes like Barto's Corner, Wano Kuni special, where they'll highlight 10. Honestly, the fight went on for 20 episodes, but they'll highlight just the fight for one whole episode, so you can see the beginning and the end. They did it for Sanji's, they did it for Zoro's, they did it for everything of the rooftop fight and Luffy's fight, but they're literally doing it now for the Gear 5 part of the fight, when we've literally been watching it for the past 2-3 weeks. Why are you creating a filler for that?
I don't know.
It's a waste of time. At this point, can we keep going?
I mean... Talking about waste of time. I'm on fucking 600 episodes out of 2,850.
You don't even know. Wano is 4.5 years long. Wano.
Well, apparently, isn't fucking Dressrosa the longest arc so far?
I think
you said that was the longest.
I'm pretty sure Wano passed it.
Really? I thought you told me when I got into Wano, you were like, well, or not Wano, fucking Dressrosa. You were like, good luck. This shit long. I was like,
I think Dressrosa was probably like 3 years. I think Wano managed to. Of the anime, it's been 4.5 years. Of the manga, it took about 4 years. So,
okay, all right. Well, that wraps up our news. So I want to talk about Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
This show was great for being Castlevania, but Trevor Belmont would be rolling in his fucking grave, and I don't want to hear it from
You talking about the latest season?
Yo, Richter. Yeah, well, it's a new show. It's not like a new season. It's a spin-off show.
Okay, so it's not like season 5.
No.
Okay.
So Richter Belmont is 300 years separated from Trevor and Sypha Belmont. So Trevor and Sypha, I know you're watching it right now. You're on like season 2 of the original Castlevania.
Mm.
Trevor and Sypha end up together. They have kids, obviously. Like Trevor's the last Belmont, and of course, if we have a show where there's his like
More
descendants,
Belmonts, yeah.
then there's more Belmonts. They had sex. They blah blah blah. Anyways, um, yo, I watched 8 whole episodes. Now, don't get me wrong, Richter could throw hands, but I watched 8 whole episodes of my man's getting his ass beat. Him and his whole crew getting worked, right? Like, I did not, Trevor didn't fight death, literally death, for you to be bitching out over some vampire. Like, there's a moment in the new show where the vampire that killed his mom in the beginning of the show when he was a kid pulls up behind him and he's like, ooh, baby Belmont. And then he runs. He runs away.
Hey, you gotta be a smart man. Know
Like,
when to hold him, know when to fold him. He decided it's time to fold.
Trevor, my boy Trevor Belmont, threw the 1-2 piece combo in Dracula's face. Didn't make a dent. Didn't even move the man. Didn't give a fuck.
Hey,
He was
Trevor
still
Fox
throwing
with
hands.
death, bro. Relax.
Trevor literally fought death at the end of the last season of the first Castlevania. The actual death. Like, you gonna run away from some vampire?
Hey, it goes back to our conversation about Sarada and Sasuke. They live for different lives, bro. It's not the same thing. He has a softer, calmer life.
And because of what happened to his mom, he lost his fucking ability to do, like, yo, Trevor and Sypha set up the bloodline. They set it up. I mean, they were a fucking cheat code to the bloodline. To have Speaker and Belmont DNA in the same bloodline, which means you could fight like a Belmont, have the knowledge of a Belmont, and have the abilities to do magic like a Speaker. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So then at the end of the show, when fucking Richter decides to fucking grab his man nuts, he fucking ends up doing magic and fighting like a Belmont, and he honestly starts winning. And I'm like, but because of the trauma of his mom dying, he fucking stopped doing magic for like his whole fucking for like the entire show,
bro.
Bro, this man had him rolling in his grave. It was getting the ass.
How old
it
is
was
he?
getting the ass whooped. I think is he like 18, 19 at this point?
He probably like 17. Let these kids breathe, bro.
Well, to be fair, right? So like we're getting Trevor Belmont as an adult, like at least 30s, right?
Yeah.
Like in his 30s. So like he's an adult. He's been fighting for a while. He's a drunkard. You know, he's been through it. Like the first episodes we get, he's drunk in a fucking bar. You know what I'm saying? Like because he's been through it, right? So, and I know we're getting Richter as a teenager. So, like, he still has some figuring shit out to do. He's not the best Belmont. I mean, he is now because he got his powers back. But still, last episode, they had to run because they got their fucking ass beat. But then our fucking... I don't want to ruin it for you. I know you don't care if things are ruined. But, so, in Castlevania, the first, like, 3 or 4 seasons, right? At the end of everything, Alucard says, because they build a town... Like, they build a town at the end of the whole show. When Trevor comes back after he fought death, everybody thought he was dead, blah, blah, blah. They build a town with Trevor's name, like, around Castle Dracula. And when he finds out Sypha's pregnant, or he already knew Sypha was pregnant before he fought death. Like, he knew his girl was pregnant. But when she was, like, poppin', Alucard says... I'll watch out for your bloodline, or I'll like watch over your bloodline, right? Because Alucard is vampire. He's part human, part vampire, but he's still like he's not gonna die. He's gonna live for thousands and thousands of years, and so he's like, I'll watch over your bloodline. So when I'm watching episode 1 through 7 of Richter getting his ass whooped, I'm like, where are you? His mom died, so but this show was good. I mean, I'm looking for, especially because Alucard showed up. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's stop fucking around.
You know what it makes me think of? Because of like obviously the Castlevania, the first part, and then moving on to about his kids and like the bloodline and everything. It makes me think of JoJo. Because you remember when JoJo first started, it was about the vampires fighting the vampires, and I kind of thought it was going to move in that direction.
This could be like kind of like inspired a little bit by JoJo.
Yeah,
a little bit. I mean, it's not as like weird or quirky as silly or anything, obviously.
It's not the best part of JoJo, but it's I
Yeah,
mean,
it's better than JoJo.
I mean, I look forward to it because I started it and it's pretty good. Like I was telling you, it's pretty good so far. Like Trevor, he boxes. He stay boxing with the vampires. He boxes with humans too.
And he don't even have powers.
Exactly,
Bro.
it's all hands. So
Like Richter's throwing hands with like ice on his hands and like this power up shit where he's like he has like this blue glow like he's Hinata, right? Like he's fighting with powers, but he's boxing. I'm like, Trevor didn't even have powers. He just throwing hands. That's all he's doing. Everybody is like, you got a whole whip, you got an arsenal of weapons, and he's like,
he said Trevor would be rolling in his grave.
Yo, me and the wife. So my wife watched the last season with me, or the last like show with me, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so she watched this whole new season with me, and we watched it in bed. Like she likes the show, which is weird. She usually doesn't like vampire monster type shit, but she actually likes the show.
They're pretty.
And I was sitting there, and I was just like, Trevor would be, and she was like, what? He ran, like, swear to God, she was like, he ran? And I was like, Trevor would be rolling in his grave. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're running from this Native American Aztecian fucking vampire that just is just like, hey Belmont, hey baby like, Belmont,
look at this puss. Look at him. Like, look at him. I mean, Yordi was the same way. Yordi was like, this show is good. You need to catch up. Catch up now, so we can watch it.
It's great. I've probably watched the first iteration of that, the first 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 seasons. I've probably watched it 5 or 6 times, and then after that I just throw it on in the background because I know what's happening. I throw it on to like clean or fucking do whatever, so this show is fucking good.
Definitely. I'm definitely so I mean, I'm watching a couple things. I haven't started on the newest season, but what I do want to talk about, first let me confirm. I'm not gonna jump to conclusions. Let me confirm. Did you ever tell me how you felt about the newest season of Records of Ragnarok?
Yes and no. It wasn't.
Tell me what you said.
Yeah, I did. It was through a text message though. We didn't talk about it on here.
Yeah.
I felt very underwhelmed.
Okay.
It was good. Buddha's that nigga, right? Yeah. Like he's all about it. But then, I did talk to you about this because I remember telling you about how his opponent had a complete and utter ass pull, like a Dragon Ball Z style ass pull, where he beat his opponent, but then all of a sudden he was now the king of hell that was just reincarnated in his. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Just end the fight. So I'm like, just end the fight. He won. Stop.
So I watched that. It was like, I believe it was like 4 or 5 episodes, and it was only a Buddhist fight, and I can hands down say, Buddha's fight is my favorite fight out of all of these fights. The backstory, the fight. I
do like the backstories. Don't get me wrong. I like the backstories. I love the fight. I love how they did everything. I love especially the opponent, the one that we're supposed to not like. Usually in Records of Ragnarok, how they have the backstory of both opponents, but they're really heavy on which one we should like root for and heavy on the one we shouldn't. The one we weren't supposed to root for was the kid with the long earrings who's always trying to make people happy, right? I forgot what his name was, but his backstory was better than any other villain air quotes backstory that we've had, and I really appreciated that. But then when like Buddha finally was winning, and Buddha was still struggling, right? Like, don't get me wrong, he was struggling a little bit towards the end, which is what we expect from a good fight.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden he beat him, and now all of a sudden, this is the king of hell that only appears whenever hatred is the most. Like, I'm like, okay, y'all just pulling shit out of the air now. Like that's kind of ridiculous. That was kind of ridiculous to me. But then, not only did they pull that out of their ass, where this is the strongest fucking dude and the king of hell, nobody can beat him, super immortal, this and that. Buddha then just goes and beats him. Like, I honestly, when they pulled that out of their ass, I'm like, okay, cool. So you're gonna kill Buddha for us. Like, I get it. If they lost one more, I'm pretty sure like the humans lost, right? Like if they lost another one, the humans were gonna be wiped out. I'm pretty
sure if they lose another one or if they lose one more, then it's
if they lose one more. So Buddha's fight was like hinging on the humans winning or losing, and so I'm like, so y'all are gonna kill Buddha because y'all brought this like OP character in, and then something's gonna happen to where there's like a technicality or something crazy is going to happen to where they allow more fights to continue to they're going to like neg that fight or something, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. But then Buddha like gets fucked up a little bit and then he wins. And I'm like, so what was the point of bringing that character out?
Let me cook. Let me cook a bit.
Go ahead.
So,
because I don't.
First off, Amazing fight. Amazing backstory on both ends. So Buddha's key thing was he basically had a Sharingan, and he can tell by your inner inhibitions how you will move.
Right.
Like he was able to read you.
Your soul.
But
he read your soul.
Yeah, he read your soul, essentially. So, but the problem was,
He didn't
let's first talk about the transition. Yes, the first kid, he was jealous of Buddha. It turned him into anger. Then Buddha ended up defeating him decisively because he used a Sharingan. Boy wasn't even able to touch him.
Oh, I'm sorry, real quick, before you keep cooking, real quick, because I'm gonna forget this shit, and I just remembered it. The reason why I hated the Aspull so much is because the kid turned into the 7, and then the 7 turned into the kid, whichever way. The 5 turned into the kid, and then the kid turned into the thing. I'm like, how many fucking are we just gonna keep allowing these transformations to happen?
I got you.
Go ahead.
So the kid, essentially, he grew jealous of him. He was an actual god, and Buddha at the time was only a human, and he grew jealous of this human because everybody loved him, and he did his best to make everyone happy, but he couldn't make them happy. So he grew to be a spiteful god, thus being a hateful god, and why he became evil. So
and then he separated himself so he wouldn't kill the humans
because
and shit.
Because apparently that form was so deranged because of how jealous he got. He had to separate himself into the 5.
Because he was gonna kill that mom and that kid, right? He was about to like slaughter them, and then he like separated himself into different emotions.
Exactly. So
seven fucking dwarves.
But Buddha still beat his ass because he was able to read his soul. Dude wasn't even able to touch Buddha one time, and Buddha defeated him. So the reason why I thought
he touched him a couple times because he had the fucking whole like hand fucking spears and hand fucking. He touched him a couple times in the kid form. He did.
I might check again.
He sliced him up a little bit.
I would say it was a decisive fight.
Yeah,
it was decisive. Crazy. So, so he beat him, and then that's when the kid transitioned to that different form. That different form wasn't a form of the kids. What happened? We end up finding out that Bartholomew or Beatrice.
It was Lucifer. It was Beelzebub.
Was it
Beelzebub? Yes. Beelzebub. Beelzebub put the potion. Because the kid was sleeping.
Yeah, he put the thing in
his world. He put the thing in his ear, which allowed him to be a catalyst for the God King. Once he met certain conditions, he would transform into that King of Hell.
Exactly.
And Beelzebub was, I think was Beelzebub and Lucifer 2 different things in this show?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so it was Beelzebub, but still one of the Christian antichrists, whatever it is, right? And he was the mad scientist who put the shit in his ear. So I get that. I saw it. I watched it with you, but I'm like, but they didn't include that. They didn't include that information later on. This feels like a forced information, like an Aspull.
I feel like it was a gradual, and that's one thing I do hate about like these battle type shonens, that it's like this is this and this, everything we need to know, we know it. But this person went up. Okay, now we're going to give you more information. This person went up. Okay, now we're going to and that's something I do not like about these type of battle shows.
They're giving us forced reasons why we have to accept the fact that they're
this
now
new level, and he's now stronger. So I don't like that. But with that storyline, I was still okay with it. I think I was more okay with how Buddha was able to win in the end, because he basically got into the fucking Devil King's mind, or got into his head that he wasn't so much below him, and because
he grew a soul.
He essentially grew a soul, and he was able to read soul again, and just ultimately defeat him. I just feel that's
so cutesy stupid. Like,
it is cutesy stupid, but I feel like overall it was great.
This motherfucker. He talked no jutsu. This motherfucker.
I mean, look at Buddha. Before we saw him ever throw any paws in anyone's direction, we instantly loved him because of his character, because of who his swag that he had. He used his swag no jutsu to defeat this God King. So I fucks with that. I'm okay with that because I always felt that way.
But that's the whole chronology of Buddha in actual, Hinduism, is like Buddha was very likable. He was like a messiah. Like, he was a human being. He was loved by many. He took care of everybody. He was super nice. Everybody loved him because of what he did and who he was. So understandably, like in order to be loved by everybody, you got to have a little talk no jutsu in you. But like you talk no jutsu this man into having a soul. Like that's, I thought I saw talk no jutsu in
With
Naruto.
one
But
eye
that shit,
too. With one eye.
I mean, Sasuke got one eye.
You really want to talk about
No,
Sasuke and his one eye?
no. Move on. We're moving on.
But no, I've really fucked with Buddha because I love his swag.
Yeah.
One, his swag jutsu was on a whole nother level. Two, watching him fight was a spectacle because he would just weave,
Oh yeah.
weave, and it's like,
Yeah.
why can't I hit you? Honestly, Buddha, even though I'm still not a huge fan of the show, I still can say that that fight was an 8, maybe even a 9 out of 10 out of all the fights.
Yeah, I think it probably would be. I would say it'd probably be in my top 3. I still think the Hercules and Jack the Ripper fight was pretty.
I do like Hercules. Jack. I would say that's my number 2.
That was one of my favorite. Yeah. So I know you haven't watched this yet, but boy, oh boy, Ragna Crimson. Ragna fucking Crimson. And I'm going to talk about this like I talked about Hell's Paradise when that shit came out. I'm going to be honest. I love fucking Ragna Crimson. This show immediately became fucking one of my number ones for the season. And we've only gotten 1 or 2 episodes per show.
Yeah.
But I can already tell that this shit's about to be lit. Like, lit as fuck. Like, the first episode, and I watched it when the second episode came out. So I watched 2 in a row. And this shit, and there's probably another one out, to be honest. I got to check, but I might have watched the second one that came out this week. I don't know. But so essentially, like, these kids are dragon hunters, and you know me, I've said this many a times. I like animes where I could see myself there, like doing the shit. Right? That's the reason why we watch shows like this, or we watch anime, or we watch movies, is to pull ourselves away from reality and really just kind of connect with the show. And like, all these people are dragon hunters. They're living in a world full of dragons. Not an isekai. I know you think like isekai, different world, whatever. But it's not somebody being isekai'd. So it's just normal. This kid is a normal fucking dragon hunter. And you find out like he thinks he's cursed because every time he moved, like his parents were eaten by dragons. And then he moved to his aunt and uncle's house. They were eaten by dragons. Then he moved to a rich mansion's house where this like rich dude bought him to do chores around the house. Then the mansion, pause. I said the same thing. And then the mansion was burnt to the ground, and then like by dragons, but he's always surviving. So people thought he was cursed. Well, this little girl who's like 5 years old at the time was like a dragon slayer. Like she's like a prodigy in dragon hunting, and they end up making a friendship, forming a bond. And throughout the years, they've been fighting dragons together. She's like a prodigy. She's like 12 years old now, and she's like the strongest dragon hunter in all the land. Right? She's not like super powerful or anything, but she's like goated. Like think of what's her name from Reincarnated as a Sword. Like the main character girl. She's like that.
Yeah.
Like, but a little less powerful because obviously she's broken for a reason. It's an isekai, but a little less broken. Well, these people are dragon hunters, and then do you care about? I'm gonna spoilers. There's 2 episodes out. Everybody should have seen these 2 episodes, except for you. Do you care?
No,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell
care.
you. I'm gonna tell you.
Do you care?
I'm excited.
Anyway, but
I'm gonna tell you. I'm excited about this show. So he starts training every time he puts her to bed. Like they're all like they live together. He washes her hair. She's like a little sister to him, right? There's no lolly shit in this. It's not like an ecchi or anything. But he washes her hair, brushes her teeth, gets her ready for bed. Like puts her in bed, and then he goes out and trains at night. Like every night he's training because he's like, I can't keep up with her. She's too strong. I'm just a burden. One of those tropes where you don't think you're good enough as a main character. And I knew it from the beginning. So like. This kid is a Gojo of isekais. He's the Gojo. He has the silver hair, blue fucking pretty eyes. He's the Killua Gojo, whatever you want to fucking call him, right?
Nice.
In the first episode, we see an old man with long silver hair, pretty blue eyes, and he's like, I need to be stronger. I need to be stronger. I need to be stronger. And 3 fully grown dragons show up in front of him, and he fucking touches them with his fucking index finger and wipes him out. And he's like, I need to be stronger. And I'm like, nigga, for what? Like, what the fuck? And then, so I'm like, and then the camera pans back to him, and I'm like, okay, so that's his future self. Like, that's his future or not alternate reality, but like in the future. And then while he's training, the old man that we saw in the beginning shows up to him and like Jedi Force Ghost mode shows up, and he's like, you need to fucking get stronger. You're too weak now. You're the problem. Like you're fucking terrible. Blah blah blah. Like
you're
shitting
toxic.
On him. And
Who
like
are
shitting
you?
on him. Yeah, he's like shitting on him. He's like, who are you? And he's like, this is what's gonna happen because you're so fucking weak. And then he puts him in a trance, and then he sees that girl, the little girl, get killed. like by some like weird arrow things, like some weird arrows that are looks like blood arrows, which we find out in later like who it came from. But he sees her getting killed, and then he's like, I'm the result of your fucking weakness. And so he just moves on. He keeps having these dreams, keeps having these nightmares, keeps having these dreams. They keep like fighting dragons, and all of a sudden they're like, where all the dragons go? Like there's no dragons anymore. That's fucking weird. Find out a town gets wiped, and then they come back in and they're like, okay, now there's like hundreds of dragons. Where the fuck are they gone? Like where are they going? And then they run out of the guild room and see their whole town on fire. Like they see their whole fucking town on fire. And he's like, from his dreams, like from the dreams, he's like, we need to get out of here. We need to run. We need to run. He's like pulling on her. He's like, we need to run. We need to run. Like you're going to die. And she's like, I'm not, she's like the cutesy, like, don't worry, I'll protect you. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. I promise I'm not going to die. And he's like, no, we need to run. We need to go. And then, so they're stuck, like they're fighting. These dragons are fucking the city up, like fucking the city up. And then they have guns and shit too, which is kind of weird. They have like World War I style firearms, like guns and shit. Do that every once in a while. Yeah, like some like Attack on Titan type shit. And they're like shooting into the fire, into the dragons, and this dude comes walking out of the fire. And he's on fire, covered in blood, and they're like, sir, are you okay? Are you okay, sir? Come on, we gotta get you out of here. And he's like, Itamio Shiri. Itamio, like straight up Pain voice, bro. Like Pain's voice actor. Talking just like fucking Pain. Yeah, talking just like
Hell
Pain.
Yeah. I need to watch this now.
Yeah, it's Pain's voice actor, and it confirmed, but it also, you know how you can have the same voice actor, but they talk differently? Like, they'll talk differently talking just like Pain. And he has his hands out, and his blood, like, the blood comes off his body and forms into this dragon armor with, like, a tie and a suit, like, fucking, and he has his helmet and, like, horns like a king, right? And he's hands out, and I'm half expecting him to Shinra Tensei.
What color was his hair?
Did
he have orange hair?
Orange? Yeah, no, with fucking nose piercings. Yeah, Renegon in this fucking bitch. But and they're just like, what the fuck? And he just starts wiping motherfuckers, just like wiping. And then he uses the move that he saw his friend get killed by, the blood. The blood is his fucking. And he keeps saying this phrase that's literally Pain. He's like, blood is fire, fire is blood, or something like that. Like blood is death, fire is blood. It's the same phrase over and over and over again, and it's just like Pain. And it's the same arrows. They're like blood arrows that are fucking people up, like slicing motherfuckers in half. And then so she obviously comes down because she's the strongest dragon hunter, and she's like, I'm gonna fight you. And I'm like, and that's when I was texting you. I was like, bro, fucking Pain's the main bad guy in this shit. That's fucking wild, right? And then she comes down and she's like, they're like they fight a little bit, and then she's like all worn out, and she's like, you're that dragon god that I've heard so much about. And he's like, excuse me? How dare you compare me to my master? I'm a lowly peasant compared to him. And I'm like,
wait,
not even
the dragon god said that?
Yeah, he's not even a dragon. He's essentially, he's at the round table. He's not even the king. He's like Lancelot.
He's like a general of the dragon god.
He's not even a general. He's a lieutenant. Because there's a tier. So there's like the 12 cabaret or something crazy like that. I don't know, whatever. There's like the 10, and then there's the 4 high elders, and then there's the god.
And he's part
like
of the 10.
One of the 10. Yeah.
Fuck.
He's like a dragon leader. Well, he dies. But essentially, like, he's like, how dare you compare me to that lowly peasant? Her eyes are like, fuck, like, I'm fucking dead. Well, obviously, oh boy, he's like, no, she's gonna die. I need to do something. It's kind of like Trevor trying to punch fucking Dracula in the face, nothing happening. He goes with his sword. He's like, ah, and he fucking it shatters on the dude's head. And he looks at him and he goes, just fucking backhands his ass. I told
you we had to go. I literally told you.
Backhands his bitch ass into the river. And she's like, go get him. He's in the river. And there's one dude's like, Roger, got it. And he runs to go grab him out of the river. And then he goes to this like force ghost land, and he sees his old self. And then his old self is like, see, this is what happened because you're fucking weak. You're going to lose her. And I'm the result of that. I'm the result of you not leaving, you not getting stronger, you being as weak as you are. And then this is the one thing I appreciated it because our character is now broken. But this is the one thing that seemed kind of lazy. This was very lazy to me.
What's that?
The kid in the Force Ghost realm with his older self. He's like, so you're my older self? And he's like, yes. And he's like, you you are going to be alone for the rest of your life. He's like, I'm the strongest in the entire world now. In almost the universe, I am the strongest. But for what? Because I don't have anybody anymore to save. And so the kid goes, give me your powers then. Give it to me now. I can do something with it now. I can do something. Give me your powers now. And then old boy goes, that was the plan. Shink, just fucking stabs him in the chest with the sword. And the sword is made out of, it's called silverine.
On some bleach shit when you get stabbed.
Yeah, the sword
gets the powers.
Yeah, so he stabs him with a sword. The swords that they use to fight dragons are silverine. Imagine it's like silver bullets to fucking werewolves, right? They hurt dragons. These dragons are weird too. They burn up in sunlight. They're like vampire dragons. I don't know. But and literally from like 60 years of training goes into this kid. And this kid, so essentially what happened, and he explains how he powered up so far. He said after the first 10 or after the first 5 years after her death, I fought, I lost, and he goes over it like in Japanese. It's like hoto, hoto, hoto. He's like, I lost, I won, I lost, I won, I won. Like he's like, that's how I fought. I was losing so much. He's like, after that, I learned how to control my sword. My sword started to fuse. He was like, I was fighting so much that my sword became infused in my hand. And even though my body was in pain, I still fought. He was like, I could not let my sword go because it was crust, like it was like icing over his hand, and he couldn't let it go. And then he said, after 6 years, the sword fully infused in my body. Then I could start using he's like, I can start emitting silverine from my body. He's like, after 10 years, I learned how to control it. After another 5 years, I learned how to mass produce it. After 30 years, I learned how to distribute it. And then he was like, and then at the end, he's like, after 40 plus years of training, I now have the ultimate technique. And then it shoots back to the kid, and he has this like, he looks like Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen. He has this like tight blue shirt on. His hair is like gojoed up, like it's all like floating in the air, like Mob Psycho. And he has his blue eyes, and he's like, ultimate technique. And he does this like small little like silverine orb in his hand with like the aura. And I don't know what he calls it, but he's like, and then it's and just fucking wipes every dragon in the whole fucking town. And now the kid has like 60 plus years of the training of his former self in his body. He literally...
Oh, okay. I get it. I was like, wait, what? How did he get 10, 20, 30, 40 years? So when he stabbed him, he pretty much gave him all his experience and strength.
All his experience, all his memories. His memory is, think of it like a shadow clone learning something and then disappearing, and now you know it.
Yeah.
Right? So now his body is fully emitted in silverine. He can emit it. He can control it. He has an infinity, pretty much, where like shit can't touch him. He can fucking teleport, like wild shit. So this kid is now a Super Saiyan in this world. Like quite literally a Super Saiyan.
Kind of a small spoiler, something that does happen to Rudius from Mushoku Tensei in the future. He's going to get visited by his future self. And his future self is pretty much going to give him a lot of information to make him stronger, but also tell him that, what you're doing right now is going to get the people you love killed. You need to change it, or you're going to be me, and everyone's going to be dead, and you're going to be a mass murderer. And then we come back. Yeah, I'm telling you, the future Mushoku Tensei is about to get lit. And it's actually something that happens, I would say, in the next season or two.
I had a little foresight, but I didn't know all that. God damn. Or you're just good. I can see Rudius looked like a mass. He looked like he could be a little, something could happen to him. The way some of those things he be doing, like suspect. Like, not suspect as in like, I think he's a boy. Why is my dick getting hard? Because he's a boy. But suspect as in like.
I didn't come to that conclusion. Why
did
you come to that?
There's 2 times in the show where Rudius is like, for a boy? Really? He's a boy though. And I'm like, oh my god! But no, there's nothing wrong with that.
I think they kind of point out, at least in the novels, they kind of point out that Rudius makes a point of choosing to do the right thing, even though he grew up as like this 40-year-old NEET who didn't really like do the right thing. He was very selfish, only cared about himself. He didn't even cared about his parents when they died. So in this new world, he makes the conscious effort to make the right choices. So there's so many points in his life where he could have made the bad choice and ended up
like this shit. Sometimes whenever he's punishing somebody or like beating somebody up for doing, like, he has this like serial killer vibe to him. Like he could definitely be I mean, I told you the time when he was talking shit about old girl, his love interest, when he was talking shit about her in the street. Yeah. Whenever his dick couldn't get hard. Yeah, and then he fucking tried to kill himself like a snap of it. Like he's a psychopath.
He tried to kill himself multiple times.
Like zero. I've never seen it in a show where like I've seen the like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, you know, I'm gonna blow myself up. But like I've never seen it where it was so quick, where he was just sitting there in the street, blank face, grabbed a knife and like went like straight. And the dude like swatted it away. Like he was quick.
He was fucking. His reflexes were quick too.
I was like, God damn! Like this motherfucker is a psychopath. He definitely on some fuck shit.
Yeah, I mean, he mass murders humans, like innocents. Like it's gonna get fire. I will say in the next season or two, it's definitely gonna pick up. It's not gonna be any more love. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of love interest, but it's not gonna be seasons dedicated to him falling in love with somebody. So we got something to look forward to. No, honestly, this is part of the shows. Like I haven't started any of the new shows. I've told you this. I kind of want them to build up, but this is already on episode 2, and I'm watching. As soon as I see episode 3 drop, I'm watching Ragna Crimson, because from the trailer that we watched together and the pictures that I've seen, and now what you've told me, no, Ragna Crimson is
kind of
definitely
shitty for me though. It's not on Netflix. I gotta sail the high seas on my TV for it.
I'm on the PC, so it's easy for me to grab and find stuff.
Anyways, all right, everybody, that wraps up our episode for today. We really appreciate it. We did last week. I know we said we were gonna have a special guest. We weren't lying. We are gonna have a guest eventually. But we do Otaku Octagon. We just gonna do our own thing. Things happen.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah, things happen. Things fall through. Nothing really fell through. We're just, trying to work out the kinks here and there. We will have the guest on eventually. We appreciate everybody. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes that will be coming out. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Peace out.
Peace.